All right, so let's talk some Josh Allen. Interesting with Josh Allen. I thought that his performance was like, okay, he did some things pretty well. Just that was my memory of it when I watched it in the broadcast version. And then I saw Pro Football Focus's grade, and they crushed him and said he was horrible. And so I was like, whoa, what went on here? Let's go back and let's watch the tape and see what went wrong. I think the general perception is that he's kind of had a slow start. And honestly, after watching the game against the Dolphins, there's something to that, and it's not all his fault. So let's talk about, and honestly, it's not all the Bills' fault. So what I mean by that is let's start off with this play. So this is going to be a cover one man play, and so, man coverage across the board, and obviously sometimes this can work out. If you have a really good number one receiver, they'll win that matchup consistently, but sometimes it really can't work out, especially if you're a good man coverage team that Miami is. It gave the Buffalo Bills some trouble in this one, which in years past, it had kind of worked in Buffalo's favor. Look, right when this play starts, so Allen looks to his left, and, well, nothing is open there. He has two reads there. Nothing too much is open. There kind of is a deep shot to Allen's right that looks open. It's actually going to be an out route, but still, that's something he could look towards, but that's not the read he took on this play. So it kind of is what it is. So at this point for Allen, I mean, it's really difficult for a quarterback to have success when your first and second reads aren't getting open. And it's especially difficult when none of your reads are getting open. This time there is one, but there definitely were plays where nothing was getting open. And I thought Allen still, at times, definitely made the most of bad situations going on sort of off screen of the broadcast angle. Watch how Allen is going to run up, and he is going to be able to, pick up a first down with his legs. So good job by him to still pick that up. And again, that's really difficult to do. When guys aren't getting open, it's really difficult for a team to have success. Pretty much the only thing you can do there is run. Again, there was technically a guy open, but you understand the point. However, now we got to talk about stuff like this, because what at first play I would say is an example of most of what a lot of the Buffalo Bills issues were is, listen, Miami has a good secondary, and even though that's easily the best part about their team, that's really a good part to have about a team, and that makes things really difficult for an offense going against them, as we've seen for, a couple years now. On top of that, though, we do have to talk about how there were some issues with Josh Allen's accuracy in this game. He missed a good amount of throws. So this one is going to be a man coverage play. It's going to, get similar type thing. You have a slant route going over the middle, so, simple play. Watch what happens. Josh Allen takes the snap, and, there's an opening right here. There is a window for Allen to make this throw. Diggs here has an opening, and where you want to throw this is you obviously want to lead the receiver. It's a little bit difficult because there is a linebacker further over the middle of the field, so you can't completely lead him, but you do want to throw it a little bit sort of high and outside. Make Diggs kind of reach out and make the grab. That's the ideal ball placement on this one. Allen's throw is a bit behind. Also, just an incredible defensive play to make that catch. So, I can't crush Allen for that, right? Great defensive play. And throw was a bit behind. Not massively behind, but yeah. I mean, that's clearly in the missed throw category, I would say. And if this just happened once, it wouldn't be a big deal. This happened a lot more than once. So right here. So this is going to be another example of a very similar thing. So it's a man coverage play yet again. We're going to see a lot of this. And you have a receiver running over the middle, which is a route that's pretty good against this type of coverage. Right when this play starts, you're going to see that Emmanuel Sanders, who I actually thought had a pretty good game in this one, he got open a few times. He's open on this play. So this is just a throw that Allen has to make, quite frankly. I mean, you're a Pro Bowler, an MVP candidate. You got to make this throw. Instead, the throw is just a bit far. It is. Again, it's a missed throw. He had more of these. I'm only going to show these two. I'm not going to keep showing a bunch of them, but there was at least 4 or 5 that I was like, yeah, that's a missed throw. Everyone has missed throws. Allen had a lot in this one. This was a rough game for him. Again, I'm not going to be too worried about him. We've seen him make a lot of throws. You're going to miss some throws here and there. Not the end of the world, but he did miss some throws. That's what happened in this game. There's no denying that. Now let's go over to some good plays. So it wasn't all bad. There definitely was some good in this game. I mean, listen, the Bills won 35-0, and everyone's acting like, what's wrong with Josh Allen? I mean, that's a pretty good problem to have when your star quarterback isn't playing up to par and you're still blowing teams out. That's always very good. But what's going to happen is that it's man coverage, and it's like a cover 2 man, but one of the safeties reading this play is going to kind of end up blitzing, essentially. He's going to see Allen get outside of the pocket, and run over to try to make a play. So the route you see on the screen, the tight ends route, it's going to end up being a true one-on-one matchup. Like watch, right, when this play starts, you see how he's able to get back here, and the defensive back trying to cover him he has to turn his back right here so he can't see where the ball is, which is obviously very good for Josh Allen. Allen, who's kind of off his back foot, has to throw it over multiple Miami players and still get it over to a tight end to make this catch. This is a difficult throw for him to make, not necessarily because of the separation, because there is separation, but just the obstacles in his way. But watch him, while off balance, really put that one exactly where he wanted to put it, gets a touchdown on that play. Really good throw from Josh Allen. You know, he had a couple where it's like, okay, he's not back to, I think some people have said, man, he's looking like 2019 Josh Allen. And to some degree, I guess I understand it, because it's not like he had no flashes then either. But I still think he's doing stuff that he just didn't do a couple years ago. He definitely still, at times, shows like he's 2020 Josh Allen that just happened to miss some throws. I mean, listen, the numbers aren't great, right? And, you know, that first game against Pittsburgh, he missed some throws for sure. I thought Pittsburgh played well on top of that, but there were some openings that he just missed. That's true. And in week 2, there were some openings that he missed. I mean, his passer rating for week 1, 79.7, and for week 2, 75.2. So that's bad, right? I mean, that's not a good it's a rating. And listen, I know people don't really like box score stats. Actually, I think people prefer box score stats to what I say, but box score stats as a whole aren't great. If you are going to use them, though, passer rating probably the one to use. And looking back at how he played Miami the last 2 times, where I want to say some of the issues have stemmed from the Miami Dolphins defense, which I still do believe. The last 2 times he played them, though, he completely lit them up. I mean, his passer rating week 2 last year against the Miami Dolphins was 146.7, and you could argue, well, maybe they just hadn't found their groove yet. In week 17, his passer rating was 122.3. Those are 2 of his highest passer rating games he's had. But it's also worth mentioning, he's had this happen before. Like, he had a stretch last year where he played the Titans and then the Chiefs, not exactly 2 of the best defenses in the league, and had not the best statistical days in those games. So this is something he's always kind of had in his game, where he'll have a bad week or 2 and bounces back. And I would suspect that that's what's happened, is that he just had a bad week or 2 and now he will bounce back. But I would also say, like, yeah, this has been a bad 2 weeks for Josh Allen. Like, this definitely has been a disappointment through 2 weeks. He's missed a good amount of throws. He has. You can't wash the tape and deny that. Is it concerning long-term? I don't think so. I think that he probably just had a couple bad games. It happens. Next week, he plays Washington, who their defense has been disappointing through a couple weeks, so maybe he can light that up. You also have then the Houston Texans the week after. So things do open up a little bit for Allen, and it'll be interesting to see exactly what he does. But yeah, I mean, you know, again, if he has another bad week, do we start worrying? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.